welcome back to the channel. I've had a few people asking me what I do to clean my airbrush, particularly between colors, just to give it a base clean. This isn't a deep clean. This would be just for switching colors and day-to-day use. A deep clean I usually reserve for if I'm switching from acrylics to enamels, which doesn't happen often, or from a metallic to a non-metallic, or vice versa, which happens a bit more often, or if there's an issue with it, a clog. So anyway, I'm just going to go through what I normally do. I just finished painting some ultimate primer on the landing gear doors of a kit I'm working on. So the airbrush has been sitting here for about 5 minutes while I got set up. What I generally use to clean my airbrush is I have a paint pot. I think this is Iwata makes these. They're a very nice thing to get if you can have them. You basically have your glass jar, your airbrush goes inside. Just take care with the needle when you're putting it in, and as a filter, it really helps keep the odor down. I'm actually doing this in my spray booth, but the noise of the fan would probably be a little bit too loud, so I'm not going to do that, but I normally recommend that. I also have another mason jar I use for larger things, and generally what I use for Tamiya's and primers and that is Ultimate's airbrush cleaner, UMP's airbrush cleaner. It's very good. It works, I must admit, slightly better than just Windex or stuff like that, which is my normal go-to. So that works out well. If you can't get that or you don't have it, ordinary Windex, I actually just buy the there it is. I actually just buy the no-name stuff with the ammonia or whatever. It works well. Cleans the brush quite well, so I'm quite happy with it. So, and then I also have my distilled water, and for Tamiya in particular, if something's really, really bad, I will use the Tamiya airbrush cleaner. Now this stuff is really, really good, but it's really powerful and really stinky. So definitely use it in a well-ventilated place. Generally speaking, I'd only use the plastic pipette if I was using the Tamiya. But we won't be doing that today, hopefully. So anyway, the way I start is, as you can see, let me get some better light on that. As you can see, it's pretty full. What I'll generally do is I'll generally take a bit of cleaner. We'll just start with this. Okay, swirl it up a bit. I'll take an old paintbrush I only use for this, get it all stirred up in the cup, and then I actually dump it into the larger receptacle here. I then take some paper towel and I go in and I give this a quick wipe out of the color cup itself. This gets out about 90% of stuff from the color cup. Okay, and then in this case I'll use the UMP. I'll put a little bit more in. And again, swirl it around a bit. And what I do is give it a little bit of a backwash. So I'll spray them through and then I'll backwash it. So hopefully you'll hear me through the compressor. So again, I just go through it. As you can see, it's still pretty clogged. So I'll give it a little bit of backwash, and basically that forces bubbles in, and that really helps clean out the air on the needle. Dump that out. I'll give it again another clean out. Again, a bit more there. Add a bit more. If you look in, you can see what's going on. So at this point, I will blow some through. Have another look. I'll have another look. Now it looks like there might be still a bit on the needle, so I'm actually going to take the needle out in this case just to have a look. Yeah, there's a bit in there. So what I'll do is I'll use the cheaper Windex and I'll actually pour this straight in, and this will dump straight out. Just again to force it through. Now again, as I said, the primer was sitting for a while, so it might end up being clogged. So we'll see. And what I'll do is I'll take this, have a look at the needle, very carefully rub it down. Okay. If there's still a clog, And it looks like there might be. Pardon me, I just dropped my needle on my knee. Actually, no damage. What I'll do is I will occasionally take a cleaning kit, either pipettes or little dental things. You can get these. Some people like them, some people hate them. I find if you use them carefully, you're usually in good shape. The other thing, you can get these little interdental things you can get where you get toothbrushes and that. And what I'll do is I'll just get it moving. Let's see what happens there, and then I'll force it through. That looks a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the needle back in. And again, always do this very carefully. So I press down the trigger. I've loosened the chuck. I very gently put it in. Just enough, and then you tighten it. And then you let go of the trigger. So you notice there I pressed down the trigger to aid in going that in. I'll put a little bit more Windex in. And the idea is that you want to do it so when you put some water in, it comes out clean. And as you can see, that's come out clean now. So that's basically what I do. If there's a little bit more cleaning to do, I'll just add a little bit more thinner. Clean out anything that's, if there's anything dried in the color cup or whatever, there's a small bit there. And then I'll clean around the airbrush and that. I find this Tamiya stuff's really good for if you have dry paint around the outside of the cup. That'll really sink through it well. But that's basically what I do for the airbrush. So that's kind of a base clean, and another video will go through a more detailed clean. As always, if you have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, and be well.